The job market right now, it's unlike anything we've seen in years. Roles that used to be filled in a matter of days are now dragging on 3, 6, 9, even 18 months before even someone gets an interview or even an offer is made. And while those roles are sitting open, hundreds of people are applying. Everyone's competing. Everyone's qualified on paper. Everyone's saying the same things. How do you, the job seeker, the project manager, the career changer, how do you stand out in a market that is crowded? The answer isn't trying to be everything. The answer is knowing your one or two unique skills, then pairing them with your unique value and learning how to share them in a way that makes you unforgettable. Welcome back to the Project Manager Connect Show. I am your host, Anna Anderson. I'm a career coach, a project manager by profession, and a LinkedIn learning instructor. I'm also the founder of the Women in Project Management Network and the Project Training Network, where I help career changers learn the steps they need to take so they can go ahead and land project manager roles. And also, I help them pass their PMP on their first try. So, when organizations hire project managers, it's usually because something is not working. Maybe deadlines are slipping, maybe they're just feeling overwhelmed and they need someone else who can bring in that expertise to support them in some of the gaps that they have. Budgets are slipping, reports are all over the place, or maybe sometimes leadership is probably feeling blind to what's happening day to day. Now, here's the opportunity. You don't have to solve all of that, but if you can connect one or two skills you bring to the pain points they're feeling, you instantly will stand out. Maybe, and I'm going to just use this as an example. So maybe your smart sheet knowledge gives leaders real time visibility, or maybe if they're using Jira, your expertise in Jira helps teams maybe stop drowning in things like tickets or stuff like that. Or maybe your automation skills are going to save them hours every week and reduce something like maybe burnout. It's not about having 50 bullet points because some people, when we're doing their resumes and their marketing documents, they say, I did this maybe 5 or 10 years ago. And maybe it's not even relevant to the opportunity that you're applying for, or maybe the industries that you're interested in. It's about having one or two standout skills and trying to tie them directly to the problems employers actually care about right now. So, how do you know what skills matter the most? Look for patterns. When you're scanning those job descriptions, don't just read the list of responsibilities. Notice what keeps repeating. Are they constantly asking, for example, for someone who is knowledgeable in Jira, maybe someone who understands Agile, or maybe they're looking for someone who understands specific reporting tools, maybe stakeholder management, stakeholder engagement? Different industries are going to highlight different pain points. In healthcare, maybe it might be something to do with compliance or HIPAA, or maybe understanding the tool called Epic in reporting. In IT, maybe they're looking for someone who understands Jira because Jira is a collaborative tool. Maybe understands Scrum or Agile. Maybe in finance, they're looking for someone who understands governance or maybe risk. So you'll start seeing those patterns. And when you start spotting those patterns, you can position yourself not just as someone with skills, but someone who understands their world. And that's very, very powerful. And here's where most people miss an opportunity: networking. I think I've talked about it on this channel so many times. But when you're meeting people, whether it's at an event, maybe it's a coffee chat, or even on platforms like LinkedIn, don't just say, I'm looking for a project manager role. Now, here's where you want to say something that ties your unique skills to your value. So instead of saying, I'm a project manager, you can say, maybe I help organizations improve delivery by streamlining maybe Jira workflows and automating reporting so leaders can actually see what's happening. You know, do you hear the difference? One is generic, the other one makes you memorable. Recruiters especially notice this when they're scrolling through platforms like LinkedIn and many other job boards or sifting through hundreds of resumes. That kind of clarity makes them stop. It makes them want to learn more about you. And that's why you'll get that phone call, you'll get that email. And that's the whole point. You want to leave people with a line that sticks, a skill plus a value statement that makes you unforgettable. Now, let's connect it back to the job search. When you're reading a job description, read between the lines. If they're asking, let's say, for Jira, it's not just because they like Jira, it's because their setup maybe is not working. That's your entry point. Or maybe that's a tool they constantly use, and maybe they've just never found someone who uses it well, and they're trying to fill that gap. So on your resume, don't just list the tool, add the outcome. Instead of saying maybe I use Smartsheet, say you streamlined reporting in Smartsheet, reducing project delays by 20% because you want to add that metric and the outcome and the accomplishment. And in interviews, you also want to lead with it. When they ask you, tell me about yourself, don't rattle off your whole career story, what you did over the weekend. Start with your unique value, what you specialize in. So I specialize in helping teams deliver faster by using Jira and Smartsheet to create clarity and also accountability. That's how you take your skills and turn them into outcomes. So here's your reminder today. You don't need to be the candidate who knows everything. You don't need to have the longest resume or the most certifications. You need one or two standard skills. You need to know how they solve pain points, and you need to practice sharing them in a way that makes you memorable to hiring managers, to recruiters, and even to the people you meet while networking, because that's what makes you stand out in this competitive job market. Not being everything to everyone, but being unforgettable for the right reason. Okay? So thanks for joining me today on the Project Manager Connect show. If this episode resonated with you, I want you to share it with someone who you know is in the job market right now and would find it beneficial. And if you are studying for your PMP certification, I'll be hosting my next free session on September 25th. It was how to pass your PMP on your fast try. Even if you're feeling overwhelmed and do not know where to start, I had this session a couple of weeks ago and tons of people showed up and it was of real value. So the link to register for that is going to be in my show notes. Please join us or share it with a friend. Until next time, remember, one or two skills paired and shared with clarity can be the difference between blending in and standing out, okay?